I promise you at some point that I'm going to introduce something, to do with Dropbox, because we are still studying our files. I am still tackling file management. We did cover the local file management by using local directories, folders in our local system, and we did get as another way of managing our file, but with the capabilities of controlling the version of our work and to work collaboratively with others over the internet. And my friend, I brought the notion of Dropbox because Dropbox is also another storage which is found on the cloud. But when you are talking about GitHub, Dropbox, and other file systems, the storage device in our computer, my friend, everything boils down to the files. Everything boils down to the storage and program. And program cannot run without files. You cannot write a program nowhere. You cannot write any program at nowhere or on nothing. It must be written in or on the file, and then that file determines the storage that our system must have. And the storage is all about the space. So watch my video on the file system, file management, how the space in the hard drive and memory have been allocated right away from bits, because everything boils down to bits, to zeros and ones. And the amount of zeros and ones determine the size of the file, the size of the storage, and it determines our storage and how our program runs and our computer works. So, understanding Dropbox and Git. My friend, everything boils down to storage and program, as you can see on the screen there. When we talk about storage, just think about directories, think about folders, think about files, and everything boils down to the level of bits. So when you talk about Git, Git is a program. Git is a program written on the file that runs on our computer. It runs inside our computer to control the version of our work. So Git is a version control or source control management system. For example, if you work on a file and save it in any given repositories, Git will detect what you have done, when you have done it, who did it, and it keeps that as the version. Once you save it by committing your message, your document will be kept as complete, and that is the version. You can come next time and continue from there to create another version. And version control is able because of the Git program. So Git is available both offline and online in the cloud. The one in the cloud is called GitHub. GitHub contains Git program inside it for it to control our version. And it is the same Git program that we download in our computer so that we can have it offline locally on our computer. So we can write, we can do any work in our working tree directory. We can push it to the GitHub later on, whether the internet is there or not. But you can only push it when you're connected to the internet. So that is Git for you. When you come to Dropbox, when you think of Dropbox, just think of it in terms of storage. Dropbox is the space, is the storage found in the cloud as well. But it is only used for folders, files, storage management. it doesn't control the version. You need the internet in order to use Dropbox. However, you may install Dropbox on your phone, but still you cannot upload your work, your folders, your files to the Dropbox if you're not connected to the internet. Dropbox is available online only. So that's the difference between Dropbox and Git. But they are all useful for managing our files. So let us look at Dropbox in details. In terms of access, you need internet in order to access Dropbox, because Dropbox is a cloud-based storage platform which is found on the internet. You cannot get Dropbox anyhow, anywhere on our computer. You must be connected to the internet in order to use Dropbox. When you think of it in terms of storage. So you can only access it via the internet because it is a cloud platform used for storing data over the internet. It is free at the onset because they give you a free trial period when you join them, and then afterward you can select the payment plans depending on your needs for the space. If you need a lot of space, my friend, you need to subscribe for more space, and that may cost a little bit more. But the basic package, I think, is up to 2 gigabytes space of data that you can buy from the Dropbox. So the access credentials are applied because when you're registering or when you're trying to acquire the Dropbox account, you must supply your user credentials and some details to identify you in order to create your account with the Dropbox. Just like with the GitHub, you need to create your account. Similarly, with Dropbox, you need to create your account. But GitHub doesn't ask you to pay money the same way as Dropbox does. So in terms of file management, Dropbox allow you to create file, to create folders, to manage them. I think I need to go to the internet and show you something about my Dropbox account. As you can see, I am not hiding anything here. If you click all files, let us go home. When you hit the home button, you can see the folders and more buttons there. From here you can see Dropbox stores, shares, all access files across the device. So if you have like mobile, you have your laptop, you can share your files and folders across the devices, and you can share files, folders with others. And this is another way of working in a team, but not dynamically, because you have to download the folders, the files with the work, do it, and then upload it back to Dropbox. So that is what Dropbox does. But the beauty about Dropbox, my friend, it gives you the capabilities to sign your document or to request a signature to a given document. For example, you can create a document and send it to somebody to sign it digitally using Dropbox. Dropbox also provides a space for backup. You can back up all your devices automatically, and you can create screen recording and video messages. You can transfer data, deliver large files securely to anyone. My friend, Dropbox is a cloud computer system that allows you to perform all this. So to request a file, you can request a file by just creating a new request here, and then you submit, or you can upload the file from your computer and then share it with others. So let me go quickly to some of the things that I've just mentioned. For example, signature. You can request a signature from a person, or you can sign yourself a document or create your own signature, such that when you have a document to be signed, instead of signing your document using your pen, you can create your own signature and sign your document digitally by using Dropbox. So that's the beauty of Dropbox. You know, as I said, you can see your deleted files, you can send file request, um, you can create folders. When you go to folder section, here you see I have created a lot of folders. You see I have my personal documents here, I have courseware on these folders, on this machine. I have a lot of things in this machine. I wish I could display them to you, but I'm just showing you the capabilities of Dropbox. So you can create files, you can create folders, you can share folders, you can share files, invite members to join you, and my friend, you can do a lot with Dropbox. For example, when I go home here, um, let's say folder, and then when I click, let me just click. I have nothing to hide, my friend. You see from here, you can see my pictures there. You know, you can see your activities. I can hide it as well, so that you don't get to see my pictures. So you can see a lot of documents that I have kept in my Dropbox. You can create folder, you can upload documents, you can upload files or folder, you can create a new folder, you can edit PDF. You see, this is the capability of Dropbox. You see, all these are capabilities of Dropbox. You can sign yourself, you can get signatures from someone else. My friend, you see, you can share your document with others. For example, if I want to share my courseware, I just come here and click share. Or if I want to do more stuff, I can just click there and see a lot of things that I can do with that folder. I can, I can get the folder information from here. For example, you can see I saved in Dropbox, modified, some months ago, last year, added file details about this folder here. So I can add the tag to remind me about what this folder is all about, And also I can, if I want, I can share it with others. I can share with Dropbox. I can transfer a copy. I can send a link to somebody to just view my folders. I can give permission. For example, if I have more than one or two user, members, I can give permission to them as well. I can open in a new tab, quick view. I can download this folder back to my computer if I want, and then upload it back to Dropbox. So my friend, this is the capability of Dropbox. I just wanted to show you because Dropbox is such a powerful tool to use, for creating folders and files to manage your documents. So document modification, as I've shown you, you can edit your document, you can edit PDF, you can also add or remove the information from your file and add signatures, as well as request signatures from others, and also be able to share your work with others. So it has a strong collaborative system. In terms of skill, data are highly secure with strong encryption algorithm in Dropbox, just like any other cloud platforms out there. When you obtain an account from Dropbox, you need to provide your user credentials, and you have to keep it safe. Don't share it unless you have invited some people to join you to share your documents. Then you can invite them to. Member security may not be guaranteed, because when you give your user credential to anyone, to any members, and if that member hasn't got a good security system, in his or her computer, my friend, you will open the door for an attacker to your computer, to your Dropbox account. So the security is not guaranteed remotely with other members, but yourself, you can guarantee the security. You can set up the security, you can set up your password, and your account will be encrypted with the strongest encryption algorithm. So, in terms of collaboration, as we have seen, you can share your document with others. You can also organize meetings with Dropbox. You can create things like, the meeting time and the meeting agenda. All those, my friend, you can create them using Dropbox. And that is the beauty of Dropbox, my friend. So, what about Dropbox and other cloud storages out there? There are many other cloud storage devices or file management system apart from Dropbox. For example, we have like apart from Dropbox, which always allows any document format. That is what I forgot to mention about Dropbox. Enables you to save your document in any format. If you have PDF documents, you have Word documents, video documents, all those, my friend, will be accepted in the Dropbox cloud platform. Whereas in Google, we have Google Drive. Google Drive is another cloud platform which is pretty good. I love Google Drive, although I don't use it regularly. But the good thing with Google Drive is that once you have it, you can use it offline. Once you have downloaded the drive on your computer or on your phone, and when the internet cuts off, my friend, you can still use the Google Drive locally and do a lot of things. You can work locally. You can have total security protection on your documents. And Google Drive actually gives you the biggest size to store your file, because it uses Google search engine, and Google is very big, so you can enjoy using Google Drive compared to Dropbox, which will always ask you for some amount of money, but it gives you also the opportunity to try their product before deciding. Another cloud platform that we have is OneDrive. OneDrive is a vendor-centric storage found on the cloud. It is actually an integral of storage produced by Microsoft. It integrates all Microsoft Office documents, Office application with total protection, which prevents files duplication. You have no room to duplicate file in OneDrive. And as I said, it is a vendor centric, meaning that you cannot do any other formats of the file or anything apart from the Microsoft system. Although they are trying to scale it up so that it allows different formats from other vendors as well, but it is strongly being used to support Microsoft products. So that is a Google Drive for you, my friend. Well, so you can open the heaven of technology now with Git. I told you, Git repository, Git repository, Git repository. I thought of giving you the summary of Git and GitHub, you know, Git, GitHub, Git, and GitHub repositories, because these are the most powerful tools we have out there, not just for controlling version, but to provide a good programming environment, enabling environment for programming, especially when you're working in a team. you know, it makes life very easy for us to share our codes and work together seamlessly without any problem. And that's why I say you can open the heaven of technology now with Git. It is that important. Very simplistic, but powerful enough for us to enjoy its beauty. So, what is this Git? As I said before, Git is just a program for controlling our version, and GitHub is a remote storage or host with Git inside, and that Git program is everywhere. Now, Git repository is a local folder with Git in it. You can have local folder locally on your local computer, and also you can have a remote folder remotely in a GitHub. Folder can be created inside GitHub, and GitHub is sitting on the internet. So the folders which are created inside the GitHub on the internet is called a GitHub repository. It's just like a normal local repository that we have, but the only difference is that it is remotely found over the internet. So that's the difference between Git repository and GitHub repository. Get it right, because many people, when they're talking about repositories, they refer to, they don't distinguish whether they're talking about local repository or GitHub repository, which is a remote repository over the internet. Now, I use about 40 fundamental Git and GitHub troubleshooting operations to implement our Git system, Git repository. And the first group of the command I used was for configuring. They were meant for configuring the Git. So I use git config --global user.name to set the user of the system, and git config --global user.email to set the email. Because after that, you remember what is in the quotation here. You don't need to put a like email. You just need to slot your email address inside there in order to set your email address. And then git config global --global init.default branch. This one is used to set the default branch in the Git repository. For example, if you don't want the master branch to be chosen by default, you can set your own default branch. And my friend, the big hit is here. To create a Git repository, my friend, you just need Git init. This one create the working environment we need to operate in the Git environment. And then after that, you can link your Git to the local GitHub, you can link your local Git repository to the GitHub repository by using git remote add origin. Then you put the URL universal resource locator for your GitHub account to link to your GitHub repository. So this links local repository and remote GitHub repository. You see this link, this command here. So when it comes to version control itself, once you have initialized Git in that folder, you have Git repository, you can now add files in it in the staging, the working directory, and then from there you can use git add to add the file to the staging state. So git add and then space full file name. You write file name here, the specific file that you want to add in the staging area. That is if you want to add just one file. But if you want to add more than one file, you just use get add space dot, then that's it. You press enter and all the files will be added to the staging mode. And then to commit the message, you just use the command get commit space dash m, and then inside the double quotation there, you just write the commit message. You can say this is my first commit, or we have changed some codes, or anything that you have done with your Git system. Git repository. You can commit the message from there. So committing is like, it is saving your work permanently, saving the version of your work permanently in the Git. You use commit, get commit. But to keep your work temporarily, you use get add. So remember these two. And also get push, like for example, after committing your work, now you can use get push to push your work to the GitHub repository, so that your friends, your colleagues with whom you're working can pull or fetch your updates from the GitHub repository by using get pull or get fetch command, so that they can update their pre-existing version of the code they might have pulled before. Remember, once you have codes in the GitHub, people can only pull or fetch. But to put any update there, you need to push. Okay, use get push and then -u, then you name the branch where you want to push it. But normally the default branch is always selected. So as you can see, this is what I use as well. Get branch to create branch, and get branch, you just type get branch to check the number of branches or how many branches you have. Get branch checkout or switch, then you give the name of branch. This one is used to toggle between the branch or to select the branch that you want to work on. Branching is very important because it helps with the management control. It helps you to control the version of your work and not to mess up with the main work. So for example, you may have some new users who are novice, and they may do some work on the original branch and then try to commit or push to the GitHub. Now if you're working on one branch only, and if that person pushes something which is very bad, or some code which doesn't make sense, it will be treated as the main code that everyone should rely on, and the previous existing good code might have been overwritten or gone. So instead of going to retrieve the history, you find that it would be better to just have something meaningful so that you don't waste time. So branching is very, very important. Another group of operation is navigation, or the show commands at the local scope before and after commit. So remember get status. You can use get status to show what is happening now, right now, and what has just happened in the Git repository. So always get show is the order of the day. You can use it each time to check what is happening inside the repository or in the working directory. If you want to see the connection between the local repository and the GitHub repository or remote repository, you use get remote space -v. That gives you the link. And then navigation, some other navigation commands, we can use get show. This one can only be used after committing the message, like get log, for example. It shows the commit messages with an ID, author, the year, the date and time. And then to get the short form of the log, you use get log space dash one line. This one shortens the commit messages that you have committed in the system. And get diff is used to show the difference between the old and the current changes and what is new. So you use get diff, then you um, get the commit ID if you want to specifically go and see what happened or what commit message is all about. So you can go inside the commit message by using get diff. You just type get diff and then space, and then you just copy the commit ID in order to check that specific message. And get config list, get config dash list that show, it gives you the summary of the configuration scopes and all the system scope. And we also have what is called get config dash list dash show dash origin. Is this one gives you the fly overview of the entire system, but when you stop at just list, you may not see everything concerning the system scope. So clear repositories, I did use get config dash and set dash global space user dot name. That clears the username. And the same thing for the email, get config dash and set dash global user dot email. This also removes the email from the configuration setting. And to remove the file to unstage area without removing it from the file system, my friend, you use get remove space dash R. R stands for recursive removal of the file, and F is to force the removal. So when you type that, then you enter the file name there, my friend. Just forget about the greater than and less than sign that I've put around the file name. I just put it there to indicate that you need something there. But in practice, when you are writing this, you just type get space rm space hyphen rf space then the full file name with the extension, and that will remove the file to unstage area without removing it from the file system, from the system file. The same thing, to achieve that, you can use get remove dash caged and then the full file name. It unstage the file as well without removing it from the file system. And then we have what is called get store, get restore, not get store, get restore dash stage file. This one also unstages the file, but it keeps the file in the system file. It doesn't remove it completely. If you want to remove the file completely, I will show you in the next coming point. But here, when you just want to return the file back to unstage area, there are many options, as you can see there. Or you can just use get restore and then give the file name. It removes the file from the file system. This one removes the file from the file system if you don't use the staged. Now, to remove the get repository or to turn the file from get repository, the folder from get repository to a non-get repository folder, you just remove the .get folder which came as a result of initializing it on the folder. And to do that, you just use rm. Remember, you don't need to type get, you just type rm, which stands for remove dash recursive f, which means force, Remember, you have to leave a space there. .git. This removes the git, especially when you're using Linux or Mac OS. Now, if you're using Windows, you can just use rmdir space .git. This one removes the git from the repository, just to turn the entire folder to become a non-repository folder. Yeah, you can do the same thing for removing the folder. You know, just type rm dash rf, then the folder name or the file name. You can put it there. So git remote remove origin also terminates the connection between the local repository and the GitHub repository. And then git remove, git move, not remove. So git move is used for renaming the file. For example, if file 1 is SAM1 and file 2, let's say file 1 is SAM1. Now, if you want to name SAM1 to SAM2, you type git remove SAM1 dot extension of that file. That is the old file. And then the next thing to do is to type the name of the file you want to replace the old one. So you enter the new name to rename the files. Remember, you don't need to use that equal and greater than sign. I just put it there to show you that something is needed there. Okay, so that's how to rename the files. So my friend, that's it. Make sure you make use of Git support system. When you are already in the terminal, you can just type git help and it will display the specific help that you need. Git help G or Git help A or Git version. All this will give you a list of summary of the common help that you may need, the commands that you may need to troubleshoot your Git. So git help Git is also a command, but it helps you to get the online help and support. You know, the manual online help and support will open when you type git help Git. So my friend, that's it. Thank you for your time once again, and I hope this video has been informative. And please remember to subscribe if you haven't done it, so that next time when I post any video, you will just get a notification message to alert you, so that you can tune to my channel to see what I have uploaded as a new video. So thank you for this, and I would like to thank you for joining me, for being with me, for watching this video until the end. That is very important because it indicates that you are willing to learn and you're learning something. So happy learning. I'll see you in the next video.